Francesca Sanders from Discover Your Path College and Career Readiness, and I'm extremely excited because I have Miss Leslie Brown here with me. She is a graduate of Texas Southern University, also a graduate of University of Houston downtown. So I'm going to give her the opportunity to share a little bit something about herself.
All right. Well, I started school as a non-traditional student, starting at Houston Community College and progressing on to Texas Southern University. Now, starting off as a non-traditional student, over the age of 40, I must say, I was a little bit nervous, but I was also excited. I worried about, what they would say with me being in the classroom. But as I started at the community college level, everything was okay, and I just fell in with everyone else.
So what made you go back to school as being a non-traditional student? What was the thing that made you decide that you wanted to go back to school?
The thing that made me decide to go back to school is I was working at Texas Southern University around all these educated people. I was doing customer service, and I kind of saw how everything was going, and I was like, you know what? I think I can be much more than just a customer service representative or a general clerk. I decided, let me try. I was already in a college environment, and I said, let me just go for it and do what I do.
Awesome. So working at Texas Southern University as a customer service management, and then you are already at a college, but you said that you started off at a community college. What community college did you start off at, and why did you start at a community college instead of going into a four-year institution where you already worked?
Now, the reason why I started at a community college, which at the time was Houston Community College, was at first I was a little afraid about a big university atmosphere, and I want to get my feet wet. So I decided to go to community college so I can take my basics and be in a smaller environment, more close-knit, so I can, learn a little better and have the teachers right there at to be able to help me.
So how is it to be, I know you spoke on this, but how is it to be a non-traditional student? You say you went back to school at the age of 40. What made you go back to school at the age of 40?
Just really seeing everybody, seeing all the college students, seeing all the different organizations, seeing how being at a HBCU, they gave back to the community, and it just was my calling. It was like something that I did. A lot of people ask me, how did you do it? How did you do it? All I say is that I set a goal, made sure I followed my degree plan, did what I have to do, and, just did it.
Awesome. So after you finished did you get your associates or just a certificate? Or finish your core at HCC? Or what did you complete at the community college?
I actually did get my associate's degree. I graduated in 2015 from Houston Community College with my associate's degree, and I transferred over to Texas Southern University.
So transferring to Texas Southern University, which is a four-year institution, were you able to select your major? How were you able to pick what path that you want to go?
Actually, it was just like everything fell in line. I was at Houston Community College, and I did a government class, and we were studying the Department of Homeland Security, and I had to do a project on it, and I just really got in depth with it. I started to research, see what the different jobs were. At that time, Texas Southern University became the first university to offer the Emergency Mangement Homland Security degree. And it was like everything just fell in line. I started going to Texas Southern University, and the perfect thing about it, me working there, I had already finished my core, and most of the classes for Emergency Mangement Homland Security was online.
Okay.
So it was very easy and accessible, and it just fell into play.
Okay. So what is Homeland Security and Emergency Management? What is that degree?
Now, what that degree consists of, a lot of people think we just go out saving people. They see the end result of emergency management, but emergency management actually starts before the storm begins. Emergency management is dealing with natural and man-made disasters, which can be hurricanes, it can be tornadoes, it can be dealing with terrorism. What we do is we mitigate. Mitigate means that we prepare to defend against something before it happens. We plan. Now, in emergency management, it's best to think ahead. There's always a plan. So when it does happen, we can execute that plan. In emergency management, then we have phases from mitigation to preparedness to the response and the recovery. Now, as far as when it comes to the Homeland Security part, it deals with terrorism. It can deal with TSA, the people at the airport. It can deal with global security, which I'm doing now. It's just many aspects. I don't want people to think of emergency management as that you're the ones that go out in the boat to save the people. Emergency management can be on a local, state, or federal level. There's many opportunities that you can do with this degree.
Okay, awesome. So what job opportunities are available in Homeland Security and emergency management?
Now, I'm going to say in emergency management, the type of jobs that you can do, there's emergency management managers, there's mitigation planning, there's city planning. You can also go into the community. I am a part of the City of Houston Community Emergency Response Teams. You can go out and if you want to kind of do something on your own, you can do preparedness classes. Okay. You can go out teaching people. You also, I had an opportunity to work at Centerpoint Energy and do an emergency response drill, where we did a drill for the entire company. It was a 6-month event where we set everything up. So as you see, it's many things. It's not just one thing that you can do with emergency management. Now I'm gonna say on the Homeland Security, you can be security managers, you can do cyber security, you can watch from behind the scenes, you can do things at the airport like TSA. Right now I work in what we call a GSOC, which is a Global Security Operations Center, where I am here in Houston, but I'm watching things from Paris, from London, in Africa, in Greece, just behind the scenes, making sure that everything is safe and in order.
Okay. Can you tell me the importance of internships and how do you get those internships in that field?
Now, internships are very important because you can learn a lot. I personally did internships in DC at the DC Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, and I also did an internship with Centerpoint Energy. Now, the best way to get these internships is actually just kind of to look at the websites. If you're in Houston, the Houston Office of Emergency Management, they have internships. They have some that are paid and some that are unpaid. I was fortunate enough to the ones that I got, they were paid internships.
What?
Yes. Yes, they were. So internships are very important. You'll meet a lot of people, you can network, you can go to a lot of events, and it's just very important. You just really look at the different websites, at the different county, state, and government agencies, and just apply. You'll be surprised if you just apply yourself that they will respond back to you, and they normally, hire anywhere from 10 to 15 interns.
Awesome. So you said something about networking. Can you tell me how important networking is when it comes down to working in your field?
Networking is very important. Working in emergency management, I decided to become a member of the International Association of Emergency Managers. As a student, I was able to get a membership that was a $50 membership, whereas it normally costs anywhere from $200 to $300 to be a member of this. Wow. So being a part of this organization, they have a conference every year. I was fortunate enough, because of Texas Southern University, they sent me to the conference in Long Beach, California, where I was able to network, meet people from different agencies, attend different classes, get my name out there. I made me some little business cards, handed them out. And, I was afraid because I was by myself, but you know what? Until you walk into a room and just experience, and it's just a vibe going on, everything will move along smoothly.
Awesome. So you spoke on an organization. What kind of organizations is out there for your field of choice? Like
I'm going to say the organization, I think I spoke a little earlier about Community Emergency Response Team. It's called CERT. Mm-hmm. That is a free organization. It's with the city of Houston or any other city. You can also go in, they have it for Fort Bend, Montgomery County. It's a free class where you go to a class for once a week for like 10 weeks and you learn all the different ways that you can save people, help people, go out into the community. That's one of the organizations that you can get into. And also for the state of Texas, they have the Texas Department of Emergency Management. It's out of Austin, but every year they also give a conference. So it's very important to get in these groups, get in these organizations. Some of them are free, some of them are at minimal cost if you're a student. So it's just very important to just be a part of something.
Where did you find about these organizations? Like, were they, I know you said you were still in school, so were they within your department or you had to go look online? Like, where were you able to find these organizations?
Well, during my classes, we had to do a lot of research, and our professors would send us out and, tell us to go to certain websites or go to certain different things just to see where we can find the information because the program was so new. So basically I just did a Google search, emergency management. Yeah, so Google's my best friend. So I just did just searched a lot.
So I know you said a lot of Texas organizations, but is there any national organizations that are
actually that International Association of Emergency Management, that is a national association as well. Now, in that association, you can become a certified emergency manager. They give classes, and those certifications are very important when it comes to emergency management because they look for what they call subject matter experts. Another thing that is really not an organization, but FEMA gives free courses that you can take, ICS classes, Incident Command System classes that all of the jobs want and need. They're free classes. You just go online, you'll set up what they call an SID number, and you actually can get a transcript. You will get a certificate, and it's very handy for everyone. Even in emergency management, in schools and other organizations, it's just very beneficial. So believe me, when I say go to the FEMA.gov website, also there's another website called ready.gov. That's a national website that you can go on to learn about preparedness, emergency management, and all other things.
Graduating from Texas Southern with Homeland Security and Emergency Management, you decided to go back to school. Can you tell us what you decided to go back to school and the reason why?
I decided to go back to school and earn a master's in security management with a focus on cybersecurity. The reason why I decided to go back is I wanted to be a little bit more diverse, not kind of be in a box, but still be in the same era or, same work field.
Okay. So what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity
is protecting our data, protecting our computers, preventing people from hacking. You hear about all these phishing scams. It's about educating individuals about, how to stop all of the intrusions and things like that.
Okay, so cybersecurity is like, I guess, I'm going to use this as an example.
Okay.
Our election being hacked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does that work within cybersecurity?
Now, we have what we call certificates for certified ethical hackers.
Okay.
With ethical hackers is, how you say that the elections were hacked. We have people that actually do cybersecurity. They go in to figure out how can we stop this from happening? What can we do to prevent certain viruses and people breaking into different systems? There's many levels when it comes to cybersecurity. You can get a Security Plus certificate from a company called Comptiva. It's just many levels of it. I was more on the back end side as far as teaching the companies as far as not clicking on certain emails with the phishing scams, not sending your information, making sure that you're aware when you go to these different card readers that are at the gas station. So basically, I didn't go too in depth with the cybersecurity. I'm more on the security management side as far as the physical and global security.
Okay, so what is, I guess you're working in cybersecurity now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does your day-to-day look like when it comes to cybersecurity? What is a day of a life of a person that's in this field?
Basically,
without you not telling us that something we don't supposed to know,
yeah.
But like, can you just give us, I guess, a general day of a life of?
Okay. Basically, it's kind of like we're Big Brother. I'm gonna just say that. Where we're watching, we're looking, we're seeing, has there been any attempts against our network? Has anybody been able to come through what we call like the back door? Is it any things where people are trying to get your passwords? It's so many different things, like make sure that there's no ransomware. There's a lot of people that are bad people that are out there that they will get into your computers. They'll send you emails saying that you have to pay them so much of money before they will release, your information. So basically it's just being aware, being alert, looking at different computer programs, making sure that the network is secure is basically the day-to-day function.
It's a day-to-day function. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So could you tell us what is the salary range of someone that's working in this field? And also, we talked about emergency management and homeland security. Can you give me that one and the difference between that and cybersecurity?
Okay, I'm going to say as far as the emergency management, homeland security, there's a lot of what we call on-call jobs. There's jobs that last 365 days. A year. As we know that there is times where there is hurricane season and it's a little bit different. Now the salary range as far for emergency management, it can go anywhere from, I'm going to say 55,000 on up, depending on you, depending on if you're a subject matter expert, depending on how many certifications you have. Basically, that's the range.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, it's a little bit more. I'm going to say based on your education, your certifications, and you don't always have to go to a 4-year, a 2-year. There are a lot of people out there that get certified through different companies. They get Security Plus, they get certified ethical hackers. You can start anywhere from 60,000 on up.
Why would you give someone that is interested in going back to school and majoring in Homeland Security, emergency management, or cybersecurity?
I say take a look and get to know exactly what we do. You can always volunteer at different organizations like the Red Cross, Salvation Army. You can volunteer with your local fire departments. They have volunteer firefighters to see if this is what you want to do. And as far as going back to school, there's many opportunities. I know if you're a working adult, a full-time, you can always do online programs. They are very accessible and very on hand. And just always never give up. Just always try and just think about the ending part. For every ending, there's always a beginning.
Awesome. Can you give advice to the single mother or the person that's 40 that wants to go back to school, but they feel like they're too old to go back to school? Can you give advice to them?
Yes. I'm going to say, I know that it's going to seem like it's hard because there's been plenty of nights that I have sat at my kitchen table for hours on end. But there's always an opportunity. Just think of the life that you could have for yourself and for your children. Don't think of school as a burden. Think of it as an enhancement. Set goals, set limits. I'm going to say start off small. Don't just try to jump in and do a full-time schedule. Maybe take 2 classes, maybe take some online, but do it. Just do just a little bit at a time. And eventually you'll see that degree plan that at first had all those classes on it. Next thing you know, you're going to say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did it. And the reason why I say this is because once I made up my mind and I decided to get my degree, I started off with that associate's in 2015. I said, let me keep going. I got my bachelor's in 2017 and I got my master's in 2019. I am very proud of myself for staying persistent. You have to be patient, but yet persistent to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish.
That is amazing. Like, I'm about to start crying because I have watched you start from associates, thinking about going to school, and about to finish your master's degree.
Yeah.
And that is like so amazing. And I'm just so happy for you. You're such an inspiration.